ending up on dinner plates. As our great minister, Dr. Eric Opoku, admits some beneficiaries are eating the birds government gave them for income.
But there are also stories that we can also share. Some also decided to kill and eat all. In fact, they were even sending me videos that, Honorable, we are eating everything. But this is not meant for that immediate consumption.
But the minority says the program is a complete failure.
My conclusion is that it's a failed program. They should do a comprehensive review before they continue with, the next phase of the program.
Now, tonight on Top Story, we ask, is hunger derailing the Nkoko Nkitikiti program? Our great minister, Dr. Eric Opoku, and minority spokesperson on our great Dr. Yao Opoku are on Top Story. It's brought to you by Telecel Connect and Energies, Holy Insecticide Spray and Coil. Enjoy a holy sleep, and also by Short Pension Trust into the future with you. This is live from Joy 99.7 in Accra, live on Love 99.5 in Kumasi, on ATL 100.5 in Cape Coast, on Radio Max in Takrad, and several of our affiliates across the country. Well, tonight's government's flagship Nkoko Nkitikiti program to fight poverty with chicken is in trouble. Our great minister, Dr. Eric Opoku, admits some beneficiaries of Nkoko Nkitikiti are rather eating the birds meant for business. Appearing before the Assurance Committee of Parliament, he told the committee the project has largely succeeded, but the minority says no. They call it a complete failure. Let's listen to the minister speaking in Parliament today about the program.
These are some of the stories. Now, the difficulty we had with some of the regions, especially in the eastern region, some of the farmers who benefited called me and said, Honorable, our birds are ready. We are not getting the market. And I said, oh, look, we can find some market for you. So we spoke to some of the processors. Some of them had to move cars from Accra to some of the regions to go and buy the birds. But there are also stories that we can also share. Some also decided to kill and eat all. In fact, they were even sending me videos that, Honorable, we are eating everything. But this is not meant for that immediate consumption. We just wanted people to rear them, sell, and reinvest so that it becomes
Honorable Minister,
businesses.
that's the trending story, that they are eating the birds. You've seen it. That trending story I've just mentioned.
It's trending?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That they are eating the birds.
Oh, okay. But Mr. Chairman, even though we don't encourage that because we wanted them to capitalize on this, to earn something for their livelihood. If that is what they have decided to do, at the national level in aggregation, it also helps. If they are able to build a good taste for locally produced poultry, that is a big plus for us. Because I was in Nebraska, and the stories I heard about their poultry, I asked myself, are we able to check the kind of product that we import into this country? Because they say that it is illegal for you to sell the layers when they are spent. I mean, when they are no longer needed, and then they kill them, it is illegal for you to sell them in the US. Yes, because they are vaccinated, and
Why?
a lot of things, a lot of vaccines are administered on some of these bears. And so they think that it will be inimical to their health if they consume. So they are not allowed to be sold on their market. Where do they sell them? And other areas, where do they go?
So that is the Agri Minister there talking about the Nkoko Nkitikiti program. Let's bring in James Aveji, who is our man in Parliament. James, is the Minister on on what this means to the project? What has it been saying about clear ways that this means to the project and the way forward for this?
Well, Brace, the Minister is convinced that despite some of these challenges, the project has largely been successful. It is on the back of this that he disclosed that the intention is to expand the project beyond the current reach, where they would increase the number of day-old chickens that will be dispersed as we speak. He said a number of hatcheries are working in order to expand or increase the number of catchments as far as the beneficiaries are concerned. He also added that the new initiative will be to table a document before Parliament to get the buy-in of the House to rope in all the 275 MPs in Parliament into the Nkoko Nkitikiti program to benefit themselves and their constituents.
I will soon table a proposal before Parliament for consideration. If Parliament agrees, the Ministry of Food and Agriculture will support all parliamentarians to go into poultry production. Even though I'm calling it a proposal, plans are far advanced. The ministry is procuring some quantity of birds, mainly for members of parliament. As soon as the birds are ready, we then distribute them to the various places for members of parliament to be in that business. Because we think that when it comes to capacity to scale up, you can do it. We only have to stimulate the interest in you. And I must say that it's a very viable project. I'm a poultry farmer myself. I started not long ago. And Mr. Chairman, if you know what I know, you would have run to be part of that process. As we speak, about 67% of MPs in Ghana are all farmers. And so when you see people in ties and you think that they are only making money from Parliament, you are deceiving yourself.
So that is the Agric Minister there. But let's look at what data is also saying. And my colleague here, who's a research analyst, will join you research. Jason there joins me to give us more details about the goal and funding of this program when it was implemented. Jason, now you have been analyzing the 2025 and 2026 budget. Tell us about the rationale behind the Nkoko Nkitikiti program.
So according to the 2025 budget, we see that the poultry sector is a key part of the government's agriculture for economic transformation agenda. The goal, when it was introduced, is to reduce Ghana's dependence on imported chicken, increase local production, boost farmers' incomes, improve food security, and help meet the country's protein needs. And in 2025 alone, we see that the government allocated 1.5 billion Ghana cedis to the agriculture for economic transformation agenda, with Nkoko Nkitikiti, or their English name for that is the poultry farm to table, as one of its flagship interventions.
So tell us about the funding for this poultry to farm project, or what we know as Nkoko Nkitikiti.
So in 2026, the government allocated 244.9 million Ghana cedis to the poultry farm to table initiative. And that's about 11% of the Ministry of Food and Agriculture's total budget. The funding is intended to scale up food security and strengthen agro-industrial value chains. In fact, according to the 2026 program-based budget on the Ministry of Finance website, they are building on the 2025 program this year. And the government plans to support poultry production by supplying day-old chicks, feed, vaccines, and other inputs to farmers with the aim of reducing poultry imports, creating jobs, and expanding domestic chicken production.
So that was the objective, and that's what they set out to do, right?
Yes,
in terms of budget and all of that.
They also mentioned some numbers. They wanted to support 50 anchor farmers with 3.5 million day-old chicks and 18,000 metric tons of feed, 60 million doses of vaccines, all of this for the distribution of broiler chickens to 55,000 households.
All right, so those were the numbers they wanted to achieve and work with. Did we achieve that? We'll bring you much more here on Top Story. All right, This is Top Story. Let's get into the matters. And we've been joined on the line by, the Agric Minister himself, Dr. Eric Opoku and Dr. Isaac Opoku, who's ranking member, Food, Agriculture and Cocoa Affairs, of Parliament. Let me start with the Agric Minister here. I'm grateful to you, sir, for joining us. Now, in terms of the beneficiaries, how many people benefited, sir?
The target is to cover nationwide 60,000 households. So far,
Is it 50 or 60?
11 of the regions. And so we are now moving to the 5 northern regions. As soon as we are done, the 60,000 target will be accomplished.
Okay. So you're saying 50, right? 50,000.
60,000.
60,000. Okay. So now that you've done 11 regions, what are the numbers? How many people have benefited so far?
It's just about 200 multiplied by 11.
Okay, 200.
Multiply 200 by 11 because in every it's the number of constituencies. Every constituency or district, every district is receiving 10,000. Every district is receiving 10,000. So it depends on the number of districts we have covered. For the 11 regions, we put the number of districts together and then you multiply by 200. That will give you the exact number. I haven't done the mathematics yet, but I know we have not defaulted in the distribution.
Okay, but once you went to the Parliament to answer questions on that, I thought that by now you should have those figures, not so?
No, I did not go to Parliament to answer questions.
Okay.
The Parliamentary Committee invited me to come and, to the Assurance Committee, to come and update them on the assurances I have given earlier on. And so when I went, they decided to ask questions of public interest, and those issues came up. So it is not the case that I was invited to come and answer questions relating to that project.
Okay. So as we speak, the numbers are not with you now. That's fine.
No, don't draw that conclusion.
Okay.
I've told you that in every district, 200 people have been covered.
Okay.
And we have done 11 regions. We are left with the 5 northern regions. And so we only have to put the figures together.
Okay.
District by district, then we multiply it by 200. You don't get the impression that I don't know the numbers.
Okay. All right. Sorry for that
is erroneous.
Okay. That's fine. Now, so do we have evidence, not projections, that this Nkoko Nkitikiti has produced more chicken than would have been produced if the same amount of money had been invested directly in Ghana's existing commercial poultry farmers?
The evidence is there.
Okay.
We are running the program in phases. In the next coming weeks, in some few weeks ahead, we are going to distribute day-old chicks to existing commercial farmers. So we targeted the household or backyard poultry, under which we wanted to stimulate interest of Ghanaians in the poultry business. That is all about the backyard poultry. Then we have another type of it, under which we give the people the battle cages, we give them the birds, we give them the feed for them to also go into production. And the last one is the commercial farmers. We are now doing the procurement. As soon as we are done, then we distribute the birds to the existing commercial farmers. And so we want everybody to be on board. That is the interest that we want to generate. It's not the case that we are leaving the commercial farmers and serving individuals who have nothing to do with poultry. No, that is not the case.
And so when we travel to these regions, these 11 regions, we would see evidence of people having raised these chickens.
Excellent. That is what we want to see. Excellent. In fact, we have even done a documentary, and we can share with you. Even at the committee, I showed them evidence about people testifying to the success, how successful that business has been.
Okay.
And so the evidence is there for everybody to see. Except that I caution that some individuals, instead of selling and reinvesting, decided to consume. And that is not a good thing to do. Because the idea is to use this as capital for them to earn livelihood. You sell, you rake in revenue, you reinvest, and then you develop interest. You have a business. You work towards developing that interest. That is the rationale behind. So I use the platform of my engagement with Parliament to sound a caution to those individuals who are doing that to desist, because it is not the best thing to do.
But you indicated that because there is no market, that's why they have resorted to eating the bets they've raised.
No. You are doing that interpretation. Yes,
Okay.
market has been a challenge. But you know that at the beginning of the program, we decided to set up a processing factory. And we are also working with some private entities to bring on board some poultry processing factories. We are working on the Bechem poultry processing factory. As we speak, work done, according to our technical people, is close to 50%. And it is a processing factory. We are adding hatchery, we have a feed mill, and then we have a rendering machine. The hatchery will then have to produce the best to support the farmers so that they can continuously feed the processing center. And then we have the processing equipment to do all the processing, the packaging, and then we distribute to the centers for consumption. Then we have the feed mill to produce the feed internally to support the farmers who will be engaged to produce, to feed that factory. And then we have the rendering machine. You see that when you are consuming the poultry, when you are buying from the imported source, you don't see the head, you don't see the feet, the feathers. What are they used for? These are things that can be used for the production of fertilizer and then feed for aquaculture. So the rendering machine will be doing that. So that is a holistic approach to ensuring full development of the sector. And that's exactly what we are doing.
Okay. So out of the bets that were supplied, what was the success rate?
What was what rate?
The success rate. You supplied bets to people. How many, were able to get to the level where they could sell, and how many probably died off?
No, normally we anticipate about 3 to 5%. 3 to 5% mortality. That is what we anticipate.
That is anticipation.
And then when our reporters went to the field, in some of the areas, the arrangement we made with the suppliers is that where we witness mortality beyond the expected percentage, we have to refill. And the suppliers have been doing that. In fact, some of our vehicles had some faults on their way. And so when they delivered, the beds were weak. The suppliers had to resupply, and they did that. That's exactly what we have been doing. So mortality is not anything to complain about, because we have had a very successful program. And there's nothing about mortality rates beyond the expected percentage anywhere. And the way we are handling it is different.
Okay, so I'm happy you say.
Listen, let me make the point. Please let me make the point so that
make the point.
Yes, it is not the case that we distribute day old checks to the beneficiaries. We identify brooders in the various constituencies or the various districts, and the birds are sent to the brooders for them to brood for a period of 1 month. When they are matured, we have vaccinated them, take them through the processes, and then we do the distribution.
Okay. So you say you've had a very successful project. What is the benchmark for determining success on this?
The benchmark is that, one, all the participants, most of the participants that we have spoken to have testified to the fact that it has been beneficial. That is the benchmark, because they are handling them. If it is not beneficial to them, they are the very people to indicate that, no, it didn't help us at all. But once the people are testifying and they have videos, evidence to indicate that it is a project that is beneficial to them, what else do I have to look for?
But they are eating the bets. Did you give the bets to them for them to eat them or to sell and reinvest?
That statement is erroneous. I never said anywhere that all the beneficiaries are eating the bets. I sounded the caution that some of them, and I'm interested in that because some people killed the bets and sent me some videos. So I was cautioning that we don't expect people to consume immediately. We want them to invest and reinvest and reinvest.
But
so
in your what you said in Parliament, you said, but that was good.
No, I said even that, at the level of investment, because of what we want to achieve, it is not good. But it is good at the national level because if the Ghanaian people develop taste for Ghanaian poultry, and then they will patronize our products, is that not beneficial?
Okay.
But we are saying that they should not consume now because whatever happens, the birds are being produced for consumption. So if it is sold, those who are buying, are they not going to consume?
So do we know that? Do we know how many beneficiaries?
Just because we have given you the opportunity to invest.
So do we know how many beneficiaries have sold birds commercially instead of consuming them at home?
Pardon?
Do we know how many of the beneficiaries have sold their birds commercially instead of consuming them at home?
But they are more than 80% of them, more than 80% of those who have been served and whose birds are ready for sale, they have sold them. Many of them have done that. But we have recorded some cases where people themselves have called to praise us that, oh, you've done well because we have gotten something to consume. And we said, no, that is not the way to go.
Okay, all right. Minister, I'm grateful. Do stay with me. Let me bring in Dr. Ezekiel Opokun, who is ranking member on the Food and Agriculture Committee of Parliament. Doc, you've been listening to the minister. He says that this is a success. I'm sure you've also been going through the data. What do you make of the Nkoko Nkitikiti program and the report so far?
Thank you very much for having me. And my greetings to the Honorable Minister. We share, common names, so we are very good friends. Except that I've not been seeing my minister for some time. Yes, you see, you enumerated a number of objectives for which this program was set out. Would the minister be able to tell us which of the objectives, the program has been able to achieve? It was to reduce the over-reliance on imported frozen chicken. As the Nkoko Nkitikiti addressed that program, it was to boost local poultry production. As it addressed that concern, it was to strengthen food sovereignty. And above all, it was to generate sustainable household income. You see, if you come to my constituency, the maximum a beneficiary got was 15 birds. It ranged from 2 birds to 15 birds. The maximum the beneficiary in my constituency got was 15 birds. The beneficiaries did not get any fee as it was promised. They didn't get any training, no technical guidance, no vaccine, nothing. So all what they do was to just allow those birds to roam with the free-range birds. So if you come to my constituency now, in my opinion, the success rate will not be more than 5%. Virtually all the birds, either they have died or they have abandoned them completely because there was no training whatsoever. There was no training at all. And no additional feed was given to any of the beneficiaries. So in my candid opinion, this is a failed program. It is a waste of taxpayers' money. It is complete waste of national resources. So I'll urge the Honorable Minister. He said they have so far distributed to 11 regions. The 5 regions remain, to be distributed.
Yeah.
I would humbly appeal to the minister. He should do a comprehensive review and decide the way forward. What we have seen now, my description, my conclusion is that it is a completely failed program.
Okay, I'm grateful to you. Let me bring back Dr. Eric Opokun again. Doc, so by what percentage has Nkoko Nkitikiti reduced poultry imports so far? Because that was the objective.
Good. It is strange that in the middle of the implementation of the project, you are asking me to indicate to you how that project has reduced importation.
But you said the program has been successful.
Implementation.
But you mentioned that the project has been successful. You used very successful.
What we have done so far has been successful. But we haven't completed. I've already indicated to you. But
Some have sold.
Listen, that
they have already sold.
Hello, are you listening?
I am listening to you. I'm with you. Dr. Let's Dr. Rekopo, yes.
You know, we are implementing a project. We haven't completed. We are in the middle of the project. Now you are asking me, how has that project reduced importation?
But you said some beneficiaries have sold some.
We have got it. We have sold already. In the sense that we have created sustainable jobs for some people who didn't have anything to do in the first place. But when you complete the project, then you do assessment of how that project reduced importation. And that, let me tell you, the intervention is to stimulate interest. It cannot single-handedly change the poultry story of Ghana. Mind you, Ghana's agricultural sector is service sector-led. Government creates that environment, that conducive atmosphere for private participation. And so when we are doing assessment of the project, we assess the intervention, the success of the intervention, and then participation of the private sector as the campaign is seeking to achieve, so we can have the full impact of it.
Will you commit to publishing?
It's unfortunate that in the middle of execution, you pause to ask, how is this impacting on this?
Once you said again, it's been very successful, we need to interrogate.
Made a statement, but in his constituency, some people got 15, some people got 2. I'm happy he did not indicate that the birds died. And he has alluded to the fact that some beneficiaries were given. But he said, I'm here to verify, because we asked the local authorities to give us a list of 200 beneficiaries each in every district. And the birds were sent for the 200 beneficiaries, targeting each of them getting 50 birds. And so now if he is telling me that they got 15, 20, and 13, and that did not make any impact.
The maximum of 15,
even if
Minister.
They got 15.
The maximum of 15, Minister, in my constituency.
Are you saying that will not make impact? Because when we piloted in the northern region, we got some people 15.
Well, I don't know whether I can.
And when we went, some of them, they have multiplied theirs to get 40 and 50. And so it depends on the individual. If the individual sees the project as an investment, as a capital, for them to live on it, for them to multiply and make a livelihood, certainly it will work.
But Mr. Minister, why are you convenient to say this project has been successful, but then it's difficult to tell us how much of importation this project has reduced, has resulted in reduction so far?
And ensure that it works.
Now, will you commit to publishing quarterly reports so that journalists can verify the report that you put out?
The Ghana Coordinator's Office has all the reports from district to district. You know, after the distribution and after a month, our team goes to the field to ascertain whatever happened so that we can improve upon going forward. So you have every report available. But now my difficulty is that it appears your focus has been on how successful the program has been.
But that is your report. That is your report. Your report says the project has been very successful. Now, by what metric do you say you've been very successful when it is not achieving the objective by which you set out to say you want to reduce poultry importation?
We have successfully procured the best. We have successfully done the brooding. We have successfully distributed. The beneficiaries themselves have evidence, videos that everybody who wants to see can watch. They have audios. They are to testify. What other evidence do you want me to adduce? In any case, if you go to the market, do you know the reason why the price of the fowl has gone down? Have you decided to go into that to ascertain what is the cost?
Tell me the reason. What is the reason?
It is obvious. Production has increased. Production has increased.
Okay. You know, I have the president of the Ghana National Poultry Farmers Association on the line, George Dasa. George, kindly come in for me. What is happening in your industry? The minister says increased production has resulted in reduced prices of produce. Is that factual? Hello, George.
Yes.
Yes. So
Thank you very much for having me, and good evening to all your listeners. Please, the question again.
The minister says increased production in the industry has led to reduction in prices of produce, and I'm asking how factual this is.
Yeah, thank you. In actual fact, as we speak, the issue has to do with the marketing. We are producing, the commercial farmers, what we are producing, we are actually not getting market for it. And we are pleading and then urging the ministry to actually look at it, because what we produce, we are unable to sell. And so eventually what you do is you have to, if you want to actually sell, you have to reduce your prices. But when we look at the whole policy, from our perspective, from the beginning, we thought that it is a very good policy that has the potential for actually transforming the poultry sector. But our concerns much has to do with the implementation, how things are being implemented. For example, we heard that some few farmers also consumed their bears. We thought that in the first place, maybe there wasn't that orientation or some kind of education, basic education for these people. And then we also lost sight of the fact that not all households have the passion for rearing bears. So if we think that every Ghanaian household, they have the passion for rearing bears, we'll be mistaken. And that is how come those who don't have the passion, they are killing their own and eating it. But the objective is actually to let people reinvest whatever incomes they realize from it, so that at least it will increase and eventually probably reduce the importation of chicken into the country. That is the objective. But from the look of things, the way things are going, from our side, we are not seeing, we are not actually seeing how we are going to actually get the objective, achieve the objective of reducing importation. So we are still having plans of meeting with the ministry and coming out with our proposals to see the way forward. But as it stands now, it is the household, the Nkoko Nkitikiti. According to the minister, listening to him, the second phase or component that has to do with the commercial farmers is yet to take place. And that is where we are thinking that if that is to take place, there are certain mistakes that is being made in the first one that we should not repeat in the second one that we are going to implement. Other than that, we are going to defeat the whole purpose or objective of this all-important policy.
I'm grateful to you. Dr. Hause Opoko, what do you think the ministry should do in just a minute?
I think, yes, I would support what the president has said. And I said it in my earlier submission, that, the minister should be, should take our advice on board. They should do a comprehensive review of the first phase, and address the challenges in the first phase before they roll out the second phase. You see, if you want to do any assessment, I will ask the minister to take my constituency, for example. Actually, the program is not in existence in my constituency. Those who receive 2 births, the mortality rate is, some of them, 100%. 100%. So the success rate, in my opinion, is so low. So I'll urge the minister humbly, my humbly plea is that they should do a comprehensive review, address the challenges that we face in the first phase before we roll out the second phase of the program.
Okay, Mr. Minister, so you've listened to the poultry farmers, you've listened to your ranking. What's your response? Then we move on. Mr. Minister, I'm asking, you've listened to the National Poultry Farmers Association, you've listened to your ranking. They are saying that you need to evaluate and probably change the way you are implementing the project. What is the way forward?
They haven't said that. What they are saying is that if you had listened to the poultry the president of the Poultry Farmers Association. First, he said, yes, he has seen some challenges in implementation. And he thinks that some people did not have passion to participate, yet they were considered. You see, we did not distribute to all households.
If you listen to him in his concluding part, he said there are some of the implementation is not going right. So you need to make sure you don't repeat them in the second stage, else it will affect the success of the project. That's what he says.
He said that those who did not passion and were given, they are the people who are consuming. And I'm saying that we did not give to all households. We targeted 200 households in every constituency. And these are people who express interest in doing the business. And so if some of them have messed up, certainly we look at the number. And I told you earlier on that whatever weaknesses that we have witnessed, going into other regions, we improve upon that. Then again, on the implementation of the commercial one, before we do the implementation, we will engage. We have already issued letters inviting the Poultry Farmers Association to come and meet with us. Some have even written that they are coming to us. We have given them the date. We want to sit down with them. They will discuss with our technical people. They already have the experience. They have the skills. We are only assisting them to increase production.
Doc, I'm grateful to you, but the most important thing is, how will this result in the reduction in importation of poultry in Ghana? What are you going to do?
We are integrating in the construction of processing center, and we are also in partnership with a lot of private entities in setting up this processing plants. And you cannot set them up within a day or a week, so it will take some time. So once people have developed interest, and a lot of people are into the space, as soon as we have the processors available, the problem is resolved.
All right, I'm grateful to you, Dr. Eric Opoku, is Minister for Food and Agriculture there. Earlier, you heard Dr. Isaac Opoku, Ranking Member, Food, Agriculture and Cocoa Affairs of Parliament, and also George Dasa, President, Ghana National Poultry Farmers Association. My name is Samuel Kojo Brace. Up next is Newsnight.
And coming up tonight, all regional coordinating councils directed to submit post-exercise assessment reports as government tightens supervision of tomorrow's National Sanitation Day exercise, with all shops expected to be shut for the exercise.
All regional coordinating councils shall do the following. 1. They will coordinate the overall implementation of the exercise within their respective regions. 2. They will liaise with environmental service providers for the timely deployment and retrieval of equipment, logistics, and operational personnel.
We'll hear more as waste management companies, private companies, MMDAs, all security services and other government institutions prepare to participate in tomorrow's exercise.
All metropolitan, municipal, and district chief executives shall personally supervise and coordinate the exercise within their jurisdiction. On this one, make sure the logistics are enough. Everybody must be doing something. Not that you come and be onlookers when the time is due and you go back. You don't want that to happen.
Also here this evening, the National Service Authority payroll scandal just got bigger as senior officials from tertiary institutions have been arrested for their role in the over 500 million Ghana cedis fraud.
I know some arrests were done here in Accra and some too were done in some too in the
Do you know the total number unless
I speak to the Deputy Director General.
But this year, faculty members were arrested for
some of this.
Were there prominent institutions
in business?
Agri sector records major turnaround in latest monthly GDP estimate as it posts almost 2% growth in April this year.
Mbappe, those dancing feet, it must be! Just on the field for Walid Regragui.
In sports, Morocco chase revenge against France as 2022 heartbreak returns in quarter-final blockbuster later tonight. The latest of these and many other stories are coming up shortly. My name is Kenneth. Gyasi.
My name is Gemma. Appiah.
Feel free to be a part of the show by sending us a WhatsApp on 055 11 11 997. Don't go anywhere.
Hey,
Couldn't sleep at night. Mosquitoes will be whining in my ears, bugging me all night long. Till I got a remedy. Now I'll be spraying them away with holy insecticide spray. I go spray them away with holy insecticide spray. When I sleep, with holy insecticide spray.
Holy mosquito coil, holy multi-purpose insecticide spray. Ghana Kron Kron. For bulk purchase, call 0302 681582. This advert is FDA approved.
There are many reasons to connect, and it's all to put smiles on the faces of those you love.
Daddy, thanks for the tea cash, okay? I love you.
That's my daughter, Angela. Caring for my parents, that's my duty. I also get to pay my utility bills easily with Telecel Cash. And to the suppliers at my shop,
hello, sir. Telecel Cash payment received right on time. Thank you.
I get to make them smile because I can pay to my suppliers' merchant numbers, even on other networks directly. My dear ones, we keep the connection stronger when our family, friends, and business relations are happy. Live on cash, enjoy convenience, and make those who matter smile when you send them money with Telecel Cash.
Telecel, connecting energies.
Syntax Tango! Syntax, hey, tough, hey, strong. If you want quality, this be where you belong. Syntax, hey, tough, hey, strong. Oh, gonna shout and sing the song. When the sun they hot, Syntax no break when the rain they fall. Still no shake. Builders they choose and plumbers they prove. Any project you they start. Syntax
Son, we are so proud of you for setting up this hospital. I really love those hospital beds and waiting chairs. By the way, did you import them?
No, Dad, I didn't. I actually got them from Kindle Books and Stationery right here in Ghana.
Wow. We also bought our office supplies, safes, executive desks and chairs from Kingdom, and they gave us expert advice on how to set up our office.
Guys, that makes 3 of us. I also got our sofa and bedroom sets, plus our dining hall furniture for our new home from Kingdom.
Wow, Mom, that makes 4 of us. I usually get my stationery items from Kingdom, and my teacher also mentioned that our classroom furniture was provided by Kingdom.
So there you have it. Whenever you're thinking about setting up an office or acquiring furniture for your home, etc., Kingdom Books and Stationery should be your first port of call. With over 40 years experience in the industry, we stock and supply a wide variety of globally sourced office and home furniture, stationery and equipment. Visit our head office, Takweje, Osu near the Osu Cemetery, Temania Community 4, Takoradi opposite Vijay Mays Plaza, Cape Coast University Bookshop, Spintex Road near Absa Bank, Atomic Center Point Mall, Winneba University Campus, KNUST, the University Bookshop, and Santasi in Kumasi. You can also visit our shop online, www.kingdomstoreonline.com. Hurry while stock lasts. For further inquiries, contact us on 050-162-0810 or 0302-764-101. Email info@kingdomgh.com. Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited, where quality and affordability is assured. Terms and conditions apply.
Mula Sports. See the all sharp, no long thing. MulaSports.com.gh. Instant win, instant cash out. MulaSports.com.gh. Mula Sports, we run the city. Play, win, cash out. Yes, play and stand the chance to win Mula at MulaSports.com.gh. Enjoy premium soccer action, exciting trips on the aviator plane, and exciting spins on all your favorite virtual games. Mula Sports. More Mula. Bet responsibly. Gambling can be addictive. Not for persons under 18. This advertisement is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana.
You're welcome to News Tonight. Now, government is stepping up coordination ahead of tomorrow's National Sanitation Day exercise, directing all regional coordinating councils to submit situational assessment reports after the cleanup as part of their supervisory and coordinating responsibilities. Metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies have also been instructed to ensure waste collected during the exercise is transported to designated transfer stations within the shortest possible time, stressing that no refuse should be left uncollected after the exercise. Here's Local Government Minister Ahmed Ibrahim.
Doing somebody's frontage. Everybody, it must be community based. At least if there's an outbreak, you will be at risk in your frontage, or in your community, or in your house, before it will be coming from somewhere. So everybody, clear your frontage, clear your gutter, desilt your gutter. When you are done, then you can be extending it. And the exercise starts at 6 and end at what? 1 p.m. Mandatory implementation directives, and this is also very important, to ensure an effective, coordinated, and successful nationwide exercise. Government direct as follows. 1. Regional Coordinating Councils, and that is the RCCs, headed by the regional ministers. All regional coordinating councils shall do the following. 1. They will coordinate the overall implementation of the exercise within their respective regions. 2. They will liaise with environmental service providers for the timely deployment and retrieval of equipment, logistics, and operational personnel. So if you are in the Ashanti region, you must coordinate and liaise with the security service to make sure that all the 43 MMDAs in the Ashanti region are taking part. If you are from the Greater Accra, all the 29, you must make sure that there is deployment on all areas. There are logistics on all areas. And you must have a network to be able to do that supervision. Then they must ensure that all logistics are distributed equitably to participating MMDAs. That one, because when we are going on sanitation exercise every day, sometimes we all go from our houses, and the number of people who will be working, the onlookers will be more than those who are doing the actual work. All this we see.
That's the local government minister, Ahmed Ibrahim. Let's go on to the telephone lines right now and speak to my colleague, Michelle Latte, who covered that press conference for us. Michelle, what else can you tell us?
So, Kenneth, the minister has been talking about a couple of other things. I mean, providing clarification, especially for individuals who were a bit confused about which particular individuals were involved in tomorrow's exercise and also that of Saturday. So he provided a clarification. He said that government officials and private institutions, including the security agencies, also are supposed to be involved in tomorrow's exercise, of course, with the MMDs also taking part. Then on Saturday, we are going to see residents of the various areas joining in the exercise. He has also been speaking on the need for the RCCs to involve themselves in ensuring that they provide an assessment of the exercise once it is done, and that will be submitted to government for them to be able to know for sure that they were able to come up with the results they were looking for once they've gone through that particular environmental exercise.
And Michelle, the regional coordinating councils have also been assigned supervisory and coordinating responsibilities. What exactly are they expected to do?
So based on what the local government minister said, they're looking at ensuring that all the various MMDAs receive the various logistics they would need to undertake the particular exercise they are having both on Friday and on Saturday. So they're supposed to ensure that, and also ensuring that waste is evacuated from all the areas. And I think the major problem all through the national sanitation exercises has been the fact that waste is still accumulated at the various collection points. So they've charged the MMDAs and also the RCCs to ensure that all waste is collected from these areas within the shortest possible time. And they have mentioned a couple of transfer stations that have been designated for this particular exercise. We do know that Zoom Lion has also opened up 5 of their transfer stations. From the information that the local government minister gave us, some other transfer stations and landfill sites have been made operational. We can talk of that, of the one in Achimota. There's Appiah transfer station, which is located somewhere in Nsawam, and some others within the Greater Accra region. And they are ensuring that all waste is transferred to these various stations. The ones that can be recycled would also be sent to the recycling plants. Okay.
Michelle Latte, thank you very much. She's our correspondent who covered that press conference for us.
The GAT Traditional Council is also throwing its weight behind government's National Sanitation Day exercise, issuing a directive for all shops, markets and commercial entities in Accra to close during the cleanup. My colleague Ramat Bashiru joins me in studio with more from the statement. Ramat, what is the key directive from the Traditional Council?
Gemma, the council is directing that all shops, markets and commercial entities within Accra remain closed, and they gave a time for that from 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Friday and on Saturday. And they also say that the closure is mandatory to allow residents to fully participate in this exercise.
Who is exempt from the closure order?
According to the statements, only emergency services and essential medical units and authorized sanitation personnel are exempted. Every other commercial activity, according to the statement, is expected to suspend operations.
We understand the Ghana East Municipal Assembly has also issued a stern warning to businesses that if they fail to take part, they could face penalties under the Assembly's bylaws. What more are they saying?
Well, the Assembly says failure to participate violates the Ghana East Municipal Assembly bylaws on communal labor, Section 181 of the Local Governance Act 2016 at 936, and offenders could face a 500 Ghana cedi fine or, upon conviction by a court, and a fine if not less than 200 penalty units or imprisonment.
Thank you very much, Ramat Bashiru.
The National Service Authority payroll scandal has taken a fresh turn with the arrest of some senior officials of tertiary institutions over their alleged involvement in the scheme, believed to be in the region of 500 million Ghana cedis. The arrests, according to the Minister for Youth Development, Daniel Appiah, follow investigations into how ghost names were allegedly inserted into the National Service payroll through weaknesses in the validation process. Speaking on PM Express last night, Appiah revealed that the alleged rot extended beyond officials within the National Service Authority, with some senior tertiary institution staff accused of manipulating graduate data submitted for national service.
The data do not come from students. It comes from the schools. And so somebody in that office pass those numbers and then sends them to National Service. But with what they have seen, and with some of the arrests that we did when the processes were ongoing, I want to believe this year everybody will stay away. And because of the system we've introduced, even the registration system, and the Ghana card, your phone number, and all the measures we've put in place, I want to believe maybe a few attempt this year again, because maybe they would think it was a one-off thing. But we want to believe that the numbers are going to reduce drastically.
How many faculty members have you arrested so far?
I know some arrests were done here in Accra, and some too were done in the north, and then some too in the Bono region.
Do you know the total number on estimate?
Unless I speak to the Deputy Director General, Kenneth.
But this year, faculty members were arrested for
some of this.
For some of this.
Yes.
Were there prominent institutions?
Evans, let's leave it here.
Complicit? Or how many institutions, if you may?
Evans, a lot of institutions were involved.
Some of them was University of Ghana.
I'm not mentioning any names here, Evans. I'm a lawyer.
KNUST.
Evans, I know the lies. I'm a lawyer.
No, but you can't defame an institution that's not.
I have not defamed.
Exactly. So if you say KNUST,
I have not mentioned. I've not mentioned any institution.
You haven't mentioned names.
I'm saying that some tertiary institutions were involved.
Appiah added that while measures are now in place to address the payroll fraud, National Service personnel without Ghana card will not receive the allowances.
If your Ghana card number and your data, when there are challenges with your registration in school and your Ghana card, the system automatically flags you. When one phone number registers more than 2 people, automatically the system flags it. Because one man, one phone. So if, for instance, we arrested somebody in the north, 1 room, 1 background, 1 phone number, registering close to 600-700 people. The system flagged.
Student for national service.
Student for national service. And then when we went in, we realized that they were all ghosts. And so the system we have in place is immediately you enter in anything that's differs from your Ghana card. And we realized that there were challenges. So for instance, there are people who had different dates of birth from their Ghana card from their school records. So there is a process we go through to remedy that situation. And even that, we just don't remedy it. You must go through attestation, make sure a commissioner of oath certifies that you are the person. Go back to the school, let the school, the registrar or the vice chancellor attest to the fact that, yes, it is you. Because we saw that those were some of the things that they used to get away.
So I get a sense, once you mention Ghana card and numbers, you are paying people through their Momo numbers, yes, which must be linked to
your
Ghana card.
I don't want to disclose much here, but you seem to have information. But if your number is not registered to your Ghana card, you can't get paid.
Moving on, the controversial Syria Government Hospital is under full audit over an alleged financial malfeasance in the contract payment. The 250-bed capacity hospital, which was started some 18 years ago, has become a subject of political controversy as successive governments blame each other over the delay in operationalizing the hospital. Similar pressure has also been mounted on the current government to open the facility for use. Speaking on the issue at Parliament's Assurance Committee, the Minister for Health, Kwabena Minta-Kando, revealed that the project has been subjected to a special audit because they have uncovered an overpayment in the contract sum.
We inherited Syria. We had no water, no access road, no electricity connected to the place. The chairman, the truth of the matter is that this facility came to Parliament for approval, and you are a senior member of Parliament. If you are going to pay anything over and above the contract sum as approved, it must come back to Parliament. The chairman, as I speak to you now, and that's why we are very careful, we have detected that there's some amount of money that has been paid over and above the contract sum that Parliament approved. And so if you're a government and you inherit such a project, you can only do due diligence. As I speak to you now, for us to even go back with a contractor to assess the progress so far has also become a problem. And so when the picture or the impression is created out there, and sometimes the politics of the day, that you have inherited something that is completed and you don't want to operationalize it, Mr. Chairman, if anybody knows the truth, it is you. That you know that the perception out there is entirely wrong. It isn't everything that we can put out there. And so we are ready, and as I speak to you now, yesterday I said same with another facility. If this project is handed over to us today, I can assure you, within the next 2 days, we can have the full complement of the health professionals to operationalize it. So there is an issue between the contractor and government that we have not been able to resolve. How do you operationalize a project when you are in that situation? Mr. Chairman, maybe you may help me. How can you operationalize a project when you are in that situation?
We can now listen to the chairman of the committee, Dominic Nitiwu, who says the facility must be operationalized once the audit is completed.
Honorable Minister, I told you, I brought it up, and I said that I know that you are going to be in hot waters because of the type of contractor you are dealing with. That's what I said. Because I dealt with him for 8 years. And so I know what it is. What I would advise Ghanaians is that if we have to complete those projects, we have to stop politicizing them. Otherwise, these projects will never be completed in the next 10 years. When a contractor believes that these projects have become political, he will squeeze you and collect money that isn't supposed to be given to him. Take it from me. These projects were they first came to Parliament in November 2008 under former President Nkoko, the 8+1. And for some reason, when the new government under President Mills and John Mahama came, they could not start the project until 6 years later. That's 2014 when these projects started. of course, they did their part and left, and we also started. Some were able to complete, majority are not complete. The contractor came claiming that he cannot complete the project any longer because the money is finished. What do you do? So you have to negotiate and go and audit as you are currently doing. So once you audit and you find out that he has a case, you give him more money to complete it. But if you keep giving him money to complete a project, when you clearly know that he doesn't deserve it, you put yourself into trouble. So you have a case.
Yeah, so Mr. Chairman,
do the auditing well.
More revelation, especially on the Agenda 111 project, because according to the Health Minister, the previous government left a total of 1 billion cedis in payment arrears behind, despite spending over 48 billion cedis on the project.
Mr. Chairman, I do not want to give specific date, and this is the reason. One, we have identified 35. We've asked contractors to go to site. Maybe there are others who may even have to terminate and repackage. And you may have to set a new date for completion, which we haven't gotten there yet. So if I give you any date, I'll be hauled back before the committee to come and answer questions. And so with the greatest of respect.
It means that out of the 35 now has been started yet.
Some have been. You see, Mr. Chairman, if you check the 2026 budget, we said we're going to complete 10 in 2026. No, we were going to start 10 in 2026. The 10 is a subset of the 35. So we've asked the contractors, some of them, to even go back to site. So some, they are already on site, and others are yet to go back. And Mr. Chairman, we have also started, because you see, about 4.8 billion Ghana cedis was expended on Agenda 111. But unfortunately, we don't have a single one of them that could save life today.
That's the Health Minister, Kwabena Minta Akando there. Let's still stay in the House of Legislature and speak to our resident correspondent, James Aveji. James, a lot has happened in Parliament today. Tell us what we missed.
Well, Ken, still on the Assurance Committee before we go to the chamber, the local government minister also appeared before the committee, and a lot of the concerns have been about the poor sanitation situations across the country. MP for Wejagbawe, Jerry Ameshai, for instance, raised the concerns about how tricycles continue to dump refuse on the streets of Accra, and because it appears that there is no properly structured disposal of refuse or waste across the country, especially the narrative around recycling is not carried on properly by government. The minister has been given some assurance on that as well. The minister also indicated that the John Mahama government has fulfilled its campaign promise of putting all assembly members on monthly allowance. He said in 2025 alone, the government has paid a total of 107 million Ghana cedis to 9,090 assembly members across the country, and they expect to continue same in this year 2026 as well. On the floor of the House, not much has happened. They did about some 2.5 hours on the floor with the presentation of a number of reports, audit report from the various assemblies across the country. There was a speech by, there was a statement on how government must pay close attention to the rescue operations, especially with regards to children and women in the face of disasters, all on the back of the recent Accra floods that took the lives of a number of citizens, with some still missing. And so the House has adjourned. Tomorrow there will not be a sitting on Friday because leadership and speaker have agreed to take the day off to allow members to go back to their constituencies, to mobilize their constituents to actively partake in the 2-day national cleaning exercise that is beginning on Friday and end on Saturday, Ken.
James Aveji reports to us from Parliament. Thank you very much, James. Let's now do business, and George Riafe is here with the very latest. George?
Well, Kenneth, coming up, agri sector records major turnaround in latest monthly GDP estimates as it posts almost 2% growth in April this year. And Ghana Revenue Authority locks up warehouse of China Mall over defaulting in tax payments. The business news on Newsnight is brought to you by MTN Business. Welcome to the new world of business. Kingdom Books and Stationery, your number one-stop shop for all your office essentials. Sinter's Tanks and Pepsodent Herbal and Charcoal.
30 years ago, MTN arrived in Ghana and everything changed. Now, to celebrate 30 years, we are giving back big time. The MTN at 30 promo is here. 9 Toyota Land Cruiser Prados to be won. Over 10 million Ghana cedis in rewards, plus so much more. Connect to your everyday hustle on MTN. Make video calls. Browse the internet for business with family and friends. Connect your home to MTN Fiber. Make that money move on Momo and stay ahead because every move counts. Ghana, let's celebrate 30 years of MTN with the MTN at 30 promo. Use more MTN services, build more points and win big. Dial *530# or visit the My MTN app for more.
We dey brass them. Who dey brass? We dey brass them. Who dey brass? We dey brass them. Brass your teeth. Brass your teeth every day and night. After eating before bed, brass the gems away. The sugar jam, we go brass them. Fufu jam, we go brass them. Rice jam, we go brass them. We go.
When it comes to your teeth, Funnel World Cup. Brush them twice daily with Pepsodent, now in limited edition packs. This advert is FDA approved.
This football season, Star Oil and Point Africa, they give you double. Every Monday and Tuesday, fuel up at Star Oil and get 2 times your bonus points. That's right, double points when you buy quality and affordable fuel from Star Oil. Now, fuel the game for Point Ibeji. From 1st June to 19th July, collect and redeem points in the Point Africa app for amazing rewards, including fuel vouchers, flat screen TVs, PlayStation, Bluetooth speakers, blenders, and food deals. First come, first serve. Charlie, don't just pay. Get point, use point. Download the Point Africa app today. Star Oil, still quality and affordable fuel for all. Terms and conditions apply.
Introducing Ghana's leading pay-as-you-copy photocopier leasing company. Lease an A4, A3, heavy-duty or production machine and pay for only the copies made or design your own payment plan. Simple and tietia. That's not all. Incredibly, toners, repairs, maintenance, follow-me printing, centralized tracking all come free of charge. Remember, financial prudence is the name of the game. Folks, forget about the expensive gimmicks and be smart. Join the hundreds of satisfied clients across all the 16 regions and every sector of the economy and save over 60% of your printing costs. Visit us at www.valexlease.com or call 0244 644048. Be prudent and lease a copier. Terms and conditions apply. Valex Lease is a wholly owned Ghanaian company. Valex Lease, affordable document management solutions.
Hello, good afternoon. I am calling from your bank. We are currently experiencing a system downtime, so we need to secure your account. Please, can you confirm your account number and your login details so we can restore access immediately? Yes, your username and password, just to verify.
Beware of fraudsters. Your bank will never ask for your login details, PIN or password over the phone. Shine your eye. Spot the fraud. Stop the fraud. This message is brought to you by the Ghana Association of Banks.
If you spot the fraud, you go fit to stop the fraud. Make you know they lose God.
You know that feeling. A hospital bill that arrives out of nowhere. A diagnosis you weren't prepared for. A system that seems designed to confuse you and costs that keep climbing. And the stress of not knowing if you are protected. Eden isn't lost. Eden Care was created to give it back to you. Eden Care is health insurance made for everyday family life. With Eden Care, getting health care is easy and you are backed by a trusted insurance partner with years of experience. No confusing terms, just complete protection for your entire family. Step back into peace. Step into experience you can rely on. Reach out right now at 059-692-1844 and choose Eden Care today. Eden Care is brought to you by Acacia Health Insurance, a member of the Enterprise Group.
Every mosquito started run away.
This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome back to Business on Newsnight. Now, our agri sector recorded a major turnaround in the latest monthly GDP estimates released by the Ghana Statistical Service. It went up by almost 2% in April this year, following months of contraction. It was driven by crops and livestock. Now, the development may signal some exciting times for the agri sector, which could impact on inflation and the cost of living. Meanwhile, government statistician Dr. Hassan Dusu says that they are encouraged by these numbers when it comes to the larger economy.
Industry expanded by 4%, up from 1.1% on the back of stronger mining activity. Services grew by 6%. That is slower than the last year's 15.1%. Yet services remains the engine of the economy, led by information and communication. So what powered the 4.7% growth? Of the overall growth, services contributed nearly 62%, industry about 30%, and agriculture close to 5%. Growth has moderated but remains broad-based. Agriculture has bounced back, industry is expanding, and services continues to lead. For households, businesses, and policymakers, the economy is still moving forward. The Ghana Statistical Service remains committed to providing timely, accurate, relevant, and credible statistics so that every decision for national development rests on solid evidence.
Government statistician Dr. Alhassan Idrisu. Now, Finance Minister Dr. Atufosun has revealed that some 400 million Ghana cedis has been paid to the Bank of Ghana as part of requirements for a banking license for the Women's Development Bank. This should aid the operationalization of the bank by the close of this year. The minister discloses when the Vice President, Professor Nana Jinopokwajiman, paid a working visit to the Finance Ministry today.
What we now have to do is to put in place the management and the board of the bank. It's all part of the assessment that the central bank will require. So I'll be coming to you in the coming days to get the nominations so that as soon as possible we can nominate them for them to begin their work. I'm sure because you came to visit us, the staff will agree not to take salary this month. As their contribution.
And that is Finance Minister Dr. Atufosun. Now, Compliance and Enforcement Unit of the Ghana Revenue Authority locked up a warehouse belonging to CM Superplaza operators of China Mall at Spinkters Road and the Atomic Roundabout. The action follows failure of the operators to register for tax payments. Appiah Regional Manager and Enforcement and Compliance of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Joseph Anand, says they've been forced to take this action after several warnings.
You also apply human face to what we do. So we have sealed off their warehouse and allowed the retail shop to do some work. But we are giving them a week to rectify whatever challenges they have, because they are saying that it's a technical issue to get onboarded. Technical issue shouldn't take more than 6 months. We are in July. They started this business with us to be onboarded since last year.
Accra Area Manager in charge of Enforcement and Compliance at the Ghana Revenue Authority, Joseph Annan. Now, banks say they are seriously worried about reported cases of fraud in the sector. The new Bank of Ghana fraud report for last year showed that reported cases has gone up from 16,000 to more than 25,000 for last year. Even though cases in the banking sector has gone down, there were still instances of bank staff caught up in these cases. John Ewa is Chief Executive of the Ghana Association of Banks, and he tells Joy Business it is for this reason that some drastic measures have been taken to deal with the situation.
As clearly evident in the report, banks take action when fraud investigations point to the involvement of our own people, our staff, in the commission of fraud, as observed in the number of bank staff who have had their employment either terminated or summarily dismissed. Here, I must state clearly that we don't tell our stories in the best possible manner, because these clear cases of actions we have taken against our own people are not made public. As mentioned earlier, we started seeing some positive traction in the fight against fraud. As a community of banks, we have a strong resolve to preserve and enhance the confidence that the banking population expresses in our services. Our collaborative approach in the fight, the systems that as community of banks we continue to invest in, coupled with fraud intelligence sharing among banks and the ongoing nationwide campaign against fraud, attest to one thing, that as a community or as an industry, we stand together in this fight.
John Ewa is Chief Executive of the Ghana Association of Banks. And Kenneth, are you willing to pay more as crude prices are going up on the international market?
I don't know. They keep fluctuating.
Yeah.
I mean, U.S. has struck Iran again, and they are
we're seeing that
retaliating.
continuous spike. Well, on PM Express Business Edition tonight, we're trying to get some analysis or discussions about the impact of this rise in crude prices on whether consumers are willing to pay more and whether the economy is also prepared for this fresh spike and the impact on revenue going forward. I'll be engaging Dr. Robertson Upon. He is the Chief Executive of the Ghana Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies. Ben Boache is the Executive Director of African Center for Energy Policy and an economist, Dr. Edu Osusakwadie, to get some analysis on all these issues from the pump prices to the consumer's angle and even the larger economy on PM Express Business Edition at 9 p.m. on Joy News and all our social media platforms.
That should be a very interesting conversation. Thank you very much, George. Now, let's bring you some educational related stories this evening, because the headmaster of Zohe Evangelical Presbyterian Primary School in Yendi has been injured after two armed men allegedly stormed the school and opened fire, triggering panic among pupils and staff. According to preliminary reports cited by the Ministry of Education, the assailants entered the school premises and discharged firearms indiscriminately before allegedly assaulting the headmaster, who sustained injuries during the attack. Let's go into the telephone lines right now and speak to the press secretary of the Education Minister, Mohammed Hashmin. Mr. Hashmin, welcome to the program. Has this matter come to your notice? And as a ministry, what are you doing about it?
Well, thank you very much. The issue has come to the attention of the ministry, and the Honorable Minister for Education, Honorable Haruna Idrisu, has directed the attention of the Ghana Police Service into the incident. And he's calling on the general public who have information about the whereabouts of these two gun-wielding men who unleashed violence at the school to give the police some information so that they can open investigations into the matter.
In the meantime, though, what form of assistance is the Education Ministry providing to the injured people?
Well, the injured person who happens to be the headmaster, the ministry has reached out to the headmaster, and the ministry facilitated his visitation to the hospital. My understanding is that he has since been discharged from the hospital. He's recovering, and the ministry will continue to provide him with the necessary support.
Hashmin is the press secretary of the Education Ministry. Gemma has a question for you, Hashmin. Hold on.
Hashmin, have you found out the motive for this attack?
Well, preliminary, the information we have picked is that some community members in the area try to place a container at the school land, but the authorities of the Zwei Primary School resisted that because they saw it as an encroachment into the school land. But when the information got to this armed band, they came in there violently and then opened fire, and the students and some of the teachers ran away. They rushed and then they were able to get hold of the head master, and then they physically assaulted him.
Do we know whether the police have deployed their men to the school to offer protection at least for some few days before things calm down?
The police were quickly called in and they came in, but unfortunately, after the time they arrived, our information is that the gunmen fled the incident, but they are on a manhunt for those gunmen.
So at the moment, nobody has been arrested yet?
That is not to our attention at the moment.
Right.
Hashmin Mohammed, thank you very much. He's the press secretary of the Education Minister.
The Ghana Journalists Association has issued a 7-day ultimatum to the Central Regional Chairman of the NDC, Richard Esiedu, to publicly apologize over the alleged attack on Kaswa-based Obatampa Radio, withdraw a defamation suit against the station, and compensate it for losses incurred during its shutdown. The ultimatum follows an incident on June 25, 2026, where the Ewutu Senya East Municipal Chief Executive Seth Saba Sewono Banini and some individuals reportedly stormed the premises of the station, disrupted its operations, and locked up the facility while the program discussing internal tensions within the NDC was ongoing. Addressing a press conference in Accra, GJA President Albert Kwabena Jomfo condemned the incident as an attack on press freedom.
The facts available to the association after visiting the station point to a disturbing act of intimidation, lawlessness, and contempt for constitutional democracy. Report from staff of the station to the GJA explained that a group led by the Central Regional Chairman of the National Democratic Congress, Mr. Richard Esiedu, accompanied by the Ewutu Senya East Municipal Chief Executive. The facts available to the association after visiting the station point to a disturbing act of intimidation, lawlessness, and contempt for constitutional democracy. Report from staff of the station to the GJA explained that a group led by the Central Regional Chairman of the National Democratic Congress, Mr. Richard Esiedu, accompanied by the Ewutu Senya East Municipal Chief Executive, Mr. Seth Banini, and the constituency NADMO coordinator, Nyandi, stormed the premises of the station shortly after 10 a.m. The GJA finds this reported actions outrageous, unlawful, and utterly incompatible with democratic governance.
Mbappe, those dancing feet, it must be! Just on the field for Walid Regragui and Morocco. Great pride.
The Atlas Lions have a score to settle 4 years after France ended Morocco's historic World Cup dream. The two nations meet again, this time with a place in the 2026 semi-finals at stake. A win for Morocco makes them the first African country with back-to-back semi-final place in the competition's history. My colleague Collins Frimpong joins me in studio with more. Collins, is the game in Qatar last 4 years the only game played between the two?
Gemma, not at all. So they have had 6 encounters. The first one came in 1975. Actually, France has won 5 games or 4 games. One ended in a draw, and also the other one also ended in a win in favor of Morocco, which came on April 28, 1963. And also today's game means that which will be live on Joy Prime. It will be officiated by an Argentine referee. And any time that an Argentina referee officiates Morocco's game, they end up winning in the FIFA World Cup. So this is what will also be happening. But before I go, FIFA has suspended England defender Gerald Kwanzaa, who for 2 matches for sending off in Mexico win. 2 matches ban is to be served at the FIFA World Cup.
I'm rooting for Morocco tonight.
France.
The last time when Argentina was playing Egypt, Gemma mentioned that she is supporting Egypt because of Africa.
I remember what happened today.
You see, did you hear the sports minister for Morocco?
I didn't hear him.
Let me tell you what he said.
What did he say?
His country is there for Morocco, not for Africa.
I haven't heard that. Have you heard that?
No, I haven't.
Then maybe you are the only one who has heard that. We are all supporting Africa this evening. Morocco all the way.
Mbappe all the way.
Morocco all the way. Thank you very much, Collins. A few of the messages you've been sending to our WhatsApp platform. This one without a name says they finished spending the money and still can't answer a simple question. Only failures behave this way when asked to account for public funds. Joy FM, thank you very much. Go to the Ministry of Food and Agric and see the rot the minister has caused. And this one says, why is it taking the health minister so long to present the facts about the inherited hospital projects? The proposed district tribunal court system of adjudication is based on biblical and godly advice. It is the same advice Jethro Moses' father-in-law gave him in the Bible. That system has served a useful purpose and is still practiced in some countries today. Everyone should Google it and see. The MPP will never support anything good for Ghanaians under the NDC, even if it comes from heaven. That is Francis from Accra. Gemma, do you have...
Capito from Adidokbo, Volta region says, for me, tomorrow's exercise is meaningless without any effort to cultivate a sense of patriotism by daily cleanup as Ghanaians. For tomorrow's general cleanup exercise is for our own good. It is a good idea that the president has initiated this. This is from Matilda Ama from Keta.
Those are some of the messages you sent to our WhatsApp platform. Thank you very much. My name is Kenneth. Gyasi.
My name is Gemma. Appiah.
Don't forget to brush